Esta es una presentación del doctor Joshua Chukwuere de la Northwest University de South Africa con su ponencia llamada Preparing AI for Everyone in the Classroom. El doctor Chukwuere forma parte del grupo de investigación GIAVA como integrante externo.
Okay, good morning for everyone. This presentation, and we're thankful for the professor and Dr. Joshua Chukwuere, Department of Information System, Northwest University in South Africa. Joshua is a professor of information systems. His research area includes emerging digital technologies, social media, e-learning, smart city, e-health, Internet of Things, and many more. He has published a number of accredited journals and conference papers, and has edited books and presented papers at local and international conference.
Good day, everyone, and I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, Professor Josh, Professor Gabriela, for this opportunity, and I look forward to more. Now, it's very important for us to understand the world where we are today, because our world is no longer as it has been. There's a whole lot of changes in our world, and it's very important for academia, for students, to understand that the world is changing. That we need to go change the world, and what is that very change? That change is in terms of how technology is busy penetrating the fabrics of our educational landscape. That technology is no longer something that that we can shy away, we can just brush aside, but rather it has become a key component of our everyday learning. And looking at what has taken place in a recent time, beginning with ChatGPT that emerged in 2022, November to be precise, that have revolutionized how AI is viewed, is used, and is applied in higher education classroom, and not just higher education classroom, across other learning level, whether primary, secondary, and more on the higher education, and that is where we are today. So now, looking at that, we need to continuously talking about how this technology, the artificial intelligence system tools, are busy changing and impacting higher
Sorry,
education.
Joshua, we are in the first slide.
Yes, I'm still there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that is it. So this very moment, I'll be talking on the very important topic, which sometimes when you look at academic literatures, academic content on AI, it's not really being discussed. And then what is that very top topic? Is all about preparing everyone for what? For AI. Okay. Now, this entails that what? That there is a, before you can say prepare everyone for AI, it means what? There is what we can call exclusion at different levels of AI in higher education, and for that exclusion to be taken away, there is a need for everyone to be included. So now, the subtitle of my presentation this very moment is talking about on the part of what? Making what? Promoting AI inclusion, and not just inclusion, preparing people for that very AI of a thing. And that is what we're going to be talking about this very moment. Okay, now here is my presentation outlook overview, which is what we need to understand the element of That's so good. That's so good. Okay. We need, okay. So we need to talk about the element of the strategic inclusion or adaptation of in education, higher education, the importance of digital readiness, because for there to be a bridge on the part of for there to be an inclusion, there should be a level of preparation, readiness should be there, and then be able to propose some steps that can bring about an equitable AI adoption. Okay, so here are the key concepts, right? Now, when we talk about inclusion, when we talk about AI, for there to be an extensive inclusion, there should be an element of what digital literacy. And what is digital literacy? Digital literacy got to do with the ability for to confidently, critically, and positively use digital tools. Now, for there to be preparation to address the level of or to increase to have a proper inclusion of people using AI today in higher education, there should be a proper um, um, uh, an intentional digital literacy upscaling, meaning what that what people to have a confidence in using digital tools, in this case right now AI, right? And then they should be able to use this very tool to make some critical analysis, critical evaluation of the content that, on which they apply this AI. And then they should have a positive use of it. So in order for there to be inclusion in people in a usage of AI in higher education, there is a need for what? For scaling of what? Of digital literacy. That is very important. Also, there should be, in general, there should be a proper AI literacy. So there is a general perspective of digital literacy. There should be a concentrated effort on what? On AI literacy. In this part, you need to understand and then understand, not just understand it, but how do you apply, how do you use AI in education? And then not just using it, and also understand the greater implication on the learning process, on the learning outcome, on the future graduate, and so on and so forth. So there should be that kind of greater awareness, that kind of greater understanding, knowledge about it. Now, when we talk about inclusive education, which education for all, right? Which do away with social social norms, social status, background, and so on and so forth. That what, irrespective of one's social cultural background, standing, standard, status, the person, everyone should have an equal playing ground of equal education, whether rich, whether poor, whether average. That shouldn't be the case. So inclusive education got to do with what? Education for every person in that society, in that community, in that nation, no matter whether they can afford it, whether they can pay for it, whether they have the technical know-how, whether they have the resources. That shouldn't be a case. Meaning what? That what we should be able to do what? Look at looking at AI in a way to do what? To address and educational inclusion. Okay. So now, why AI matters in lecture room, in a classroom today? One of the fundamental things that everyone that understand about AI is this: that AI is has a very positive part, that it brings towards personalized learning. And what do we mean by personalized learning? AI have the ability to do what? To provide learning content that suits each person's ability, each person's need, each person's learning style. That now, let me give it a little bit, let me break it down a little bit. Now, for there to be an inclusion, AI is making it possible today for people to be able to do what? To have a personalized learning that you prefer you're a slow learner. It enables you to provide a content that suits that very particular learning need. Okay, you are a fast learner. It does that. You like to use learning with visual, image, and so on and so forth, animations and all the rest of the text. It does that for you. So it cut across that what no one will be left out. That your learning is being personalized to suit your personal preference. Okay. Also, why AI matters in a classroom today, that it provides lecturer support. Then it can be able to turn today learning material automatically, giving grades, providing gradings and all the rest of them, and also making a complex content, simplifying it, and giving more advanced learning insight. Because it has, let's remember that AI today, through what generative AI that does all these things, right, has the ability to do what? It has a high level of data that it mines, that it processes, right? Because of that level of data, you're going to predict tomorrow, can be able to give you insight what is going to happen going to the future. And that is so it prepares the lecturer, it gives the lecturer that very kind of insight, whether a complex, whether simple module content that he or she is handling. It provides that very aspect. Like today, right now, there are some of these AI tools today, and that can give you a whole lot of a textbook, to give you, prepare you the study guide, the study material, generate questions and everything, which makes what the job, the role of a lecturer very, very easy and very simple. Okay, what about on the side of engagement? It provides that kind of student engagement. It enhances student engagement. It brings about them dynamics in terms of that engagement, flexibility, not one side fit all, and interactive engagement. That now when students are engaging and it motivate it, and also brings about motivating learning. Now, when students interact with AI in a classroom, what it does is that it enhances their learning. It opens their mind, being dynamics, not being static. It can give you different, explain different in a single content in a different way. Being flexible to manipulate, to move between text to audio to text to image and all the rest of them, right? And then that interaction, that engagement, that you are talking, you're interacting with that machine, playing around, doing it. That can you give me this content in this particular way? It gives it to you. That kind of robust and flexible interaction is what enables AI to be effective in a classroom. Student engagement. Okay. And also another aspect is that preparation of future students. Very important. It provides the needed skills and future workplace readiness. Now, when an AI is being used in a classroom, what is happening? It prepares the student to think, to be future oriented, right? And prepare the kind of graduates that are 21st century ready in embracing technology, using technology, and applying technology. And also, it goes as far as, like I talked about before, because of the amount of data it processes, right? It's being able to give future insights on the present reality, to be able to project to the future, to give an insight. So the students have been able to prepare today for tomorrow's ready for tomorrow's task, for tomorrow's work, and also providing some answer for tomorrow's problem that's going to emerge. What a wonderful tool. Now, however, for this, for why it matters in a classroom, right? And for that to happen, there is a need for something to happen. Now, and for that thing to happen, that there are also barriers, challenges that affect AI in a classroom, right? However, the readiness challenge or challenges are in this in this form. Now, before we can really bring AI into the classroom, right? There is a need for us to tackle these challenges. And one of them is this, that unequal preparedness. Now, not all students and lecturers have equal AI skilled and digital skill. That should be addressed. If that's not addressed, it widens the exclusion. For us to close that very, for us to make it, AI accessible, educational inclusivity, right? There's a need for us to do what? To address this, that not everyone, every student, every lecturer have an equal chance of using of skills in terms of that. The digital divide, right? And the challenge there that before we can promote AI into the classroom, there's a need for us to do what? Look at the digital divide that exists across different learning institutions, countries, and regions, right? Which is lack of a digital infrastructure like your AI tools, internet, and the electricity, and so many other things, right? That should also be tackled, right? Resistance to change or fear of change. Many lecturer students are not willing to adopt AI. Inclusion of AI, inclusivity of AI in higher education, in learning environment. It has a challenge that what not everyone is ready to adopt it. Many are still skeptical about this technology, this very tool. Now, there's a possibility of exclusion. Some individuals or group might be left out. An inclusion approach. In this inclusion approach, many people can be left out. So for that to do what? There is a need for us, in order for us to promote an inclusive AI, prepare people to use AI, right, in a classroom, in promoting inclusive education. There's a need for us to do what? Remove every forms of barriers. Unequal preparedness. Everyone should be on the same page, on the same level of skill. There should be what? Bringing remove every forms of digital divide in terms of infrastructure and so many other things. And then be able to educate people, to train people for them to adapt this very removing every forms of fear of change on the negative. Because people are looking at the negative side that they've had a lot of things, they've had a lot of news that what AI is gonna do, is gonna put people out of job, is gonna do this, gonna do that, and that alone stuck in people's mind that hinders them from what embracing AI. And very important, there is a need for what to understand that what that there is a possible exclusion when we are not able to address the above stuff. Who is to be ready in terms of AI inclusion, usage, preparedness in higher education, right? And promoting inclusive education. Now, we need to be able to prepare the students, creating awareness, providing digital skills, building analytical and critical thinking skills for effective use. Students should be ready. They should understand what it can do, what it cannot do, and the kind of level of skills they need. They should be able to be provided, create that among the students for them to be ready to use AI. If not, nothing will happen. Teachers develop an ability to integrate these tools into their learning process, into their teaching curriculum. They should be able to do what? To train teachers, lecturers, how they can be able to factor, to bring in these tools into their learning process, teaching and learning process. Administrative part, the policy support and resources. There should be a level of what support, supportive policies, resources, and training programs that should be provided for what for on the side of the government, the departments of education, and so many other things. They should be ready. They should understand this technology, these tools, what it can do, and then be able to do what to provide all the support. If they understand what it can do, they can be able to do what provide the support for lecturers or teachers. How about the parent? The parents should also come in to understand the place of AI in education and providing the student with the support when they need. their students, their children will support. So these four key entities should be ready for there to be the usage and inclusive AI in higher education. Now, for there to be an inclusive readiness, um, for there to be a prepared readiness, sorry, for there to be for the people to be prepared in using AI in higher education, in promoting inclusive education, there should be inclusive readiness strategy, right? And this strategy involves what? Training and professional development, provide teachers, lecturers with the AI skill abilities. That's very important because people cannot be ready, people cannot be prepared to use AI today in a classroom, right? Without them not having the necessary skills. So there should be a continuous training and retraining of the teachers, right? For them to be able to use it, for them to be able to impart students with such knowledge for effective usage, and not just effective use, for ethical usage of AI in a classroom. There should be at that level of curriculum integration, add AI components, concept, content into the current module and learning processes. Now, before the emergence of generative AI and AI at large in education, education curriculum has been designed, have been used. Now, but there should be for there to be inclusive readiness, right? There should be element of integration of AI concept into those curriculum that have been syllabus that have already been designed. Access and infrastructure, provide enabling infrastructure and resources for there to be what inclusive readiness using AI in the higher education classroom. Give student support, provide a continuous support like help desk, monitoring, evaluation, adaptive technology. So that support should not stop. Remember, the system has been running before AI, and now AI is there. What do? Retrain, train, awareness, train, awareness, education, continuously, non-stop. Okay. However, there are some risks in using this technology. If we fail to use these tools very well, if we fail to prepare people to use AI in a classroom, there should be a wider gap. Digital divide will worsen. There will be an increased unequal learning space environment because then now everyone will receive different skills. There will be unequal skills. There will be a misuse and underuse, which now brings about the lack of because of lack of skills, right? There will be which will lead to poor usage, unethical usage, and so many others. There will be a loss of trust. Many will reject it when the expectation is not met. Now, when people are not prepared, they will lose trust using AI, which will bring about a massive rejection about this technology. Because people's expectations were not met and all that. Now, when we look into the future from preparing AI users, students, lecturers towards inclusive education, what do we see? We're going to see there's a need to have a digital education policies that will center around establish a clear guideline to guide AI adoption in education. Very important. There should be an inclusive tech procurement, which we do what you need to purchase AI tools that meet the students, the lecturers' expectation, including those who are physically challenged. right? Then buy an inclusive AI tool that will cater for every person. Now, there should be element of triple P, public-private partnership. There should be a collaboration between the industry players to train, to fund, to retrain, and to support AI implementation in higher education. Now, very important, monitoring and feedback. Continuous monitoring should be encouraged when we look at how we can be able to bring inclusive access of AI in higher education. And for the preparation to take place, for readiness to happen, there should be a continuous support for all the stakeholders that have interest in this technology. In my conclusion, AI is here to stay. We cannot shy away from it. However, there is a need for preparation that will ensure what and equitable that will ensure equity and equitable use. Now, everyone, students, all the stakeholders should be empowered. Not just only those tech saviors, right? Tech lovers. No, everyone should be empowered to use AI. Finally, policy framework should be provided that will guide all this usage. So that is what I believe will be able to assist us to do what? To prepare and to use what? AI in a classroom. Take a home here is this. AI will not replace lecturers in a classroom, in a lecture hall, in a learning environment, at any level. But it is a tool that will bring about educational transformation. So people should not be worried. There should not be techno stress among academians. People should relax. AI is not there to take away people, take away jobs from people. Rather, it brings about not just transformation, a positive transformation. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening, for watching. Please feel free to contact me, wish to ask question, and then we provided an answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presentation. This presentation is an example that we adapt as a lectures and the influence of the AI in our classroom. And well, I don't know, Gabriela, if you have a question or.
Thank you very much, Joshua. It's a very interesting presentation, and the topics are really a lot of questions that I was thinking about how to establish a relationship between different lines of research of the HIAVA group. You explain a general idea, no such for a pedagogical model for online virtual model, because you present a general system because of the students, the institution, and the society. what we have to consider about this system idea. Very, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it refers that comments, Gabriela, in our project, and that you are part of the group. The idea is to apply this kind of theories or implementations related to the teaching models, pedagogical innovation, inclusive education, virtual teaching and learning environments. There are different topics that we try or we intend to work together with you and with the other team. This presentation is a beginning of the ideas that we implement for the rest of the year. As I mentioned before, this presentation will be placed to the other teachers, the other students, and maybe the question that this person could refer, I will transmit with you, and maybe is a material that we implement at the project.